So in this video, I'm going to try and help you decide which character you're going to be pulling for in the second phase of 3.4. Now before I start, I have to remind all of you that what I'm going to say is simply my opinion, and ultimately you should be the one who decides how you are going to spend your Primo Gems. So let's get straight into it then. First of all, both characters are characters that I wouldn't skip if their banners came out separately. All I have to say is that Hovis really outplayed all of us and got all of us in a very tough situation, as both characters are very good at what they are designed to accomplish in the game. On one hand, Hu Tao is an excellent power DPS who deals very good damage and is sort of your OG DPS before Inazuma characters came out. On the other hand, Yelan is not only your 5-star Xingqiu, but she also plays a much more versatile role in my opinion, since she provides a lot more than Xingqiu. So who do you pull for then? I'd say a good way to think about it is to look at what characters you have on your account already, and from there it should be a lot more easier to decide. But before I dive into the main part of the video, for new players who just started Genshin Impact, I'll briefly explain what sort of character Hu Tao and Yelan are. Essentially, Hu Tao's main output of damage is from her elemental skill. You press it and the normal attack damage that she deals is now power damage. So what you want to do is press E and then do 1 or 2 normal attacks followed by 1 charged attack and repeat the process. One thing to keep in mind is that HP is the stat that you would want to build on her, and she also deals more damage when her HP is below 50% from this passive talent shown on the screen right now. And so artifact wise, for the sands that you run on her, you would want to have HP as the main stat. Moving on to Yelan, she is a Hydro support who can deal damage and also apply Hydro on enemies to trigger elemental reactions very well. Her E makes her dash in one direction for a moment if you tap it, and if you hold it she'll continue to dash for a few seconds, and you can also control the direction that she's heading into. Enemies that you run or dash into will be marked, and when Yelan stops dashing, they will take Hydro damage. Her elemental burst is what makes her such a highly regarded support in the game. Basically, pressing Q summons a dice which follows your on-field character and will coordinately deal Hydro damage and apply Hydro as your on-field character performs normal attacks. Same as Hu Tao, Yelan also wants a lot of HP, as that is what her skill and burst skill off of. Alright, now that you sort of understand the basics of these two super strong characters, let's go back to the point that I was making. So to put it in simpler terms, if you only have one main DPS and you feel like you need another main DPS, then go for Hu Tao. And if you only have Xingqiu and none of the other very strong supports like Fischl or Sucrose, go for Yelan. What I'm trying to get across is that you need to weigh out both characters' pros and cons, not that there are any bad things about the characters, and pick the character that benefits the quality of your gameplay the most. Of course, if you have enough Primo Gems, then go for both, but realistically speaking, you're probably a low spender or even a free-to-play player. If you want to blame someone for this, then blame Hovis for making such a well-planned marketing move that will probably get a lot of you guys to swipe your cards for these two characters. Personally, I think I'm going to only pull for Hu Tao's C1. As for the Staff of Homer, I'm not too sure yet. Last but not least, I know I just said that these two characters don't really have any bad things about them, but in reality there are, and these bad things should be put into consideration as well. For Hu Tao, unless you jump or dash cancel, you're not going to be maximizing her damage output, and you might find her quite weak compared to a character like Yoimiya, for example, who only requires you to spam her normal attack after pressing E once. Another thing to keep in mind is that without her C1, you're going to run out of stamina very quickly when performing an optimal rotation, so be aware of that when you're trying to dodge or just trying to sprint away from the enemy. As for Yelan, although she might output more damage than Xingqiu, she requires a lot more thought when farming for her artifacts, and there are a lot of things to consider as well when building her, like for example how much energy recharge you're going to put on her, and what is the compromised amount of HP that you should aim for when it comes to the artifact set that you're going to run on her. Honestly, the list of bad things and good things can go on forever, and there are videos on YouTube that explain Hu Tao and Yelan in full detail, so I'm not going to waste your time. You can go watch them if you want to find out more about these two characters. Honestly, the 4-star characters that are going to be on the banner this time around are very good. Xingqiu and Beidou are excellent supports, and this is especially the case when it comes to new players, and so I think pulling on these two banners will definitely help up your account, regardless of who you decide to pull for. I think phase 2 of 3.4 starts on the 7th or the 8th of February, so there is still under 2 weeks of time for you guys to farm for more Primo Gems if you feel like you're not going to be guaranteeing the character that you're trying to pull for. I'm going to make a video on the banners hopefully, and that will be it for today's video. If you'd like to see more videos of me explaining things about the game, then let me know in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe, as it really helps me out, and see you in the next one. Bye!